Welcome to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, founder of the Reiki Business Collective and creator of the Build Your Reiki Business program, sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business. Welcome to this episode of the Reiki Business Podcast. In this episode, we are talking about Reiki business models because so often when we are thinking about starting a Reiki business, we have the vision of the very standard Reiki business. You know, the one that is in person, where you are seeing in-person clients. And most often, you are seeing them in an office space with a Reiki room. This is typically the vision that we have when we picture a Reiki business, when we think about Reiki business, and when we consider starting our own Reiki business. And if this is the kind of Reiki business that you are considering starting, that is great. I also want to encourage you that it is not the only kind of Reiki business, nor is it the kind of Reiki business that you need to start, and it very well may not be the best Reiki business model for you. And so I want to encourage you on your Reiki business journey as you are considering your Reiki business to recognize and honor that Reiki business models are as infinite as Reiki itself. So we as Reiki practitioners know that Reiki is infinite. We know that it is incredibly flexible. We know that we can do in-person sessions. We can send distance Reiki. We can send Reiki across time and space. We can Reiki animals. We can Reiki objects, food, flowers, Reiki, 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 anything, everything, all the time, anywhere, at any time. And so just like Reiki is so infinite, so too are the Reiki business model possibilities. What that means is that you do not have to confine yourself to in-person sessions with clients in a Reiki room. You indeed can expand your vision for your own Reiki business. Now, this does not only include distance sessions, but it includes all kinds of things. Maybe creating and selling Reiki-infused products. Maybe your Reiki business is one in which you are not seeing any clients at all. Maybe you just want to create Reiki jewelry and sell Reiki jewelry, and that is your Reiki business. Maybe you want to bring Reiki into your existing work. Maybe, for instance, you are a hairstylist and you want to bring Reiki into your salon and you want to bring it into your hairstyling. Yes, you can do that for sure. Maybe you want to offer distance sessions only. Maybe you want to be a Reiki nomad and offer traveling sessions. Maybe you want to only teach and you don't want to see clients at all. Those are all possible within the vast, massive umbrella of Reiki business. And so even though the standard and common and most considered Reiki business model is the one in which you are seeing clients in a space one-on-one, your Reiki business doesn't have to look that way. And it can look in all different kinds of ways and be all different kinds of things. So, for instance, your Reiki business could be even a combination of all kinds of things. So you could have a Reiki business that sees clients one-on-one in person that also has a distance component, maybe that also creates Reiki infused objects. And so you don't even have to limit yourself to one kind of business model. Now, my own particular Reiki business is a hybrid business. So, what that looks like for my Reiki business right now, because our Reiki business is unfolding, it is a journey, and that does mean that how your Reiki business looks at the beginning is not how it's going to look in the future. And so, as you determine the Reiki business model that is right for you when you start your Reiki business, know that that can change, and that's absolutely okay. So be open to that changing. One of the things that is important for us as business owners is to be open to change and to be open to new possibilities and to doing things differently. As a matter of fact, I believe this is essential to being a successful business owner, whether you're a Reiki business owner or not. Whatever kind of business you got, being open to change, being open to new possibilities and to making changes is very important to being a successful business owner. And so with your Reiki business, I encourage you to be open to the possibilities and how your business might morph and grow and change, particularly as it pertains to the business model. So my current Reiki business model is a hybrid business. Now, what that means is that I do offer an online component and I do offer an in-person component. I do have in-person clients and in-person sessions. And I do also offer distance and online work as well. And so my in-person sessions my in-person work looks like events like expos and fairs, which I love. They are so much fun. It also looks like individual sessions, particularly mobile sessions. It also looks like doing speaking engagements and events. For my distance component of my business, the online component of my business, it looks like individual sessions, and it looks like teaching, and it looks like products as well. So that may grow and change, that may morph, that may be different in the future, but that's how my Reiki business looks at this point in time. My Reiki business at this point in time is also a full-time model. And so my business, I am operating it full-time at this point. It hasn't always been the case. I have had my Reiki business part-time in the past, and who knows, maybe I'll have it part-time in the future. Because remember, our Reiki business journey is growing and unfolding, and things are always subject to change. Now, don't worry, this doesn't mean that I'm stopping Standing Stones Healing, and it doesn't mean that I am not invested in and dedicated to my business and serving in that way. No way. Standing Stones Healing is not going anywhere, nor do I have any plans right now to move my business to part-time. But you do never know what happens and how our journey might unfold. And it's really just all about being open to those possibilities and what might come. So I encourage you to be open to those possibilities. This idea of asking yourself whether you want to be part-time or full-time is also important. Here's the thing though, everyone, is that if you started off your Reiki business by asking yourself, I want to start a Reiki business. I want to ask myself, do I want to be part-time or do I want to be full-time? Well, let's admit that everyone is going to say, I want to be full-time. Everyone's going to say, I want to run my Reiki business full-time. And so approaching it from that standpoint isn't necessarily the best first question to ask yourself, because the answer is going to be, yeah, of course. But rather, the question to ask yourself is, what do you want your Reiki business to look like? How ideally would your Reiki business be set up? So, do you want to have in-person sessions? How many people would you ideally like to be seeing on a weekly, daily basis? Do you want to have a distance component, an online component? Do you want to teach? Maybe you're at Reiki level 2 right now, and so teaching is not a possibility for you. At least, let me say, not teaching Reiki, because of course there are plenty of other things you can teach as part of your Reiki business. And so, asking yourself the kinds of things that you want to be doing in your Reiki business is going to be the kind of question to ask yourself up front. What are the kinds of activities that you want to be doing, the business activity, the services that you want to be offering, and the ways in which you want to be offering. And so those business model questions are the first things to start off with asking yourself in your Reiki business consideration. And this can indeed change, like I mentioned, and it's okay when it does. Everyone, when we switch up our Reiki business model, it's not necessarily because things aren't working. And so sometimes when Reiki business owners might change their business model, people might think, oh no, it's not working. Oh no, they ain't making it. Oh no, they got to try something new because ain't no one buying. Well, that's not always the case. Sometimes it is the case, and sometimes when we are having challenges in our Reiki business, sometimes changing our business model is the right answer to help us increase revenue. And sometimes we can change our Reiki business model even when things are going well. You know that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Well, sometimes we want to make changes simply in order to better serve ourselves and better serve our clients. And it doesn't mean that what we have been doing has been wrong or not working or not paying the bills. It just means that we want to change things up and do things differently. Sometimes when change happens, it's because we've changed. It's because we've grown. And so in your Reiki business, if there ever comes a point where you want to make changes to your business model, maybe you've been doing distance sessions and now you want to move to more in person, or vice versa. Or maybe you haven't been teaching at all and now you want to start offering teaching. You can do that. And it doesn't mean that you've been wrong to not do that. And it doesn't mean that you have been missing out by not doing that. And it doesn't mean that you haven't been making as much money because you change your business model. Indeed, sometimes when we change our business model, we're going to have a dip in revenue, especially right at the outset, because we're switching things up and changing things up, and we're adjusting to the newness of our business, and so are our clients and potential clients. But what it means is that if at any point you ever want to change your business model, indeed, it does not mean that you have not been making money. It does not mean that the Reiki business owner who makes the change is making it because they are not making any money and they need to figure something else out. Not at all. It, at its very core, means that we have grown and changed, and that what we want and how we want to serve grows and changes. This is a natural evolution of being a business owner. And so the way in which you might conceive of and envision your Reiki business at the outset is not necessarily how you might envision it for your future. And so the questions that you are asking yourself at the beginning, what do I want my Reiki business to look like? How do I want to serve? What do I want to offer? Those questions are not once and done questions. Those indeed are ongoing questions, and that Reiki business model consideration is indeed an ongoing consideration. But I do encourage you when you are first starting out to really ask yourself those first questions about your Reiki business model. In my estimation, this is really the first place to start with your Reiki business. So ask yourself some questions to consider. Where do I want to serve in terms of physical location? So that might be actual in-person clients. Where do I want to see them? Do I want to see them in my home? Do I want to see them in an office? Do I want to see them in another practitioner's office? Where do I want to see clients? How do I want to see clients? How do I want to serve? Do I want to offer hour-long sessions? Do I want to offer services in addition to Reiki sessions? Do I want to offer meditations and journeys and chakra aligning and balancing and et cetera, et cetera? Do I want to be doing other things like offering products? If so, what kind of products do I want to offer? How do I want to offer those products? Do I want to sell them in a store? Do I want to sell them online? What kinds of services might I want to offer for distance? Do I want to offer online sessions? If so, how do I want to set those up? So just asking yourself those very basic business foundational questions is going to help you arrive at what kind of Reiki business model do you want. But I really want to encourage you here that the sky is the limit. And in order to help you expand your notions of what a Reiki business could look like, I want to encourage you to check out my Reiki Business Collective discussion with Pam Allen LeBlanc. And in that discussion, we talk about Reiki business in terms of what it can look like and expanding our definitions of Reiki business. That link is in the notes, so you can check out that discussion from the Reiki Business Collective interview series. I also want to encourage you, of course, as always, to join the Reiki Business Collective at facebook.com/groups/Reiki Biz. And if you have not already, I also encourage you to get your own free Reiki Biz Kit. You can learn more and snag that at standingstoneshealing.com/Reiki Biz Kit. You know, in the Build Your Reiki Business program, we talk about Reiki business models first, because really this is the first kind of question that you want to be asking about your Reiki business. But it doesn't stop when we create our Reiki business. These are the kinds of questions that we want to be asking ourselves over and over again. How do I want to serve? Who do I want to serve? Where do I want to serve? And so I'm sending so many blessings and so many best wishes to your Reiki business, whatever the model might look like, and sending so many blessings and so many best wishes to all of those questions and considerations as you reflect upon your own Reiki business model. Sending you blessings and best wishes. Thanks for tuning in to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend. Learn more about the Build Your Reiki Business program at standingstoneshealing.com/build. Sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business.